Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Paradoxic, and welcome back to DC's Titans. I'm on season 2, episode 2, titled Rose. And the season premiere, last episode, was quite the premiere. Quite the premiere. It was a bit dragged over from the season 1 finale, combined with an actual proper entrance to season 2. We saw the team defeating Trigon, or at least the team getting relapsed from their possessions, and then Rachel unlocking her Raven Darkness to defeat Trigon, which she did, and she sent him back to the dimension he crawled out of, the dimension she pulled him out of in the first place. So that was cool. And then after that, the entire Trigon threat was extinguished. So the team somewhat disbanded again. So Corey's gone her own way. Hank and Dawn have gone their own way. Donna's gone back her own way. So now it's Dick leading this new team of Titans, this new kind of ensemble of consisting of Rachel, Gar, and Jason Todd. So we have a new Robin. I don't know if we're going to see Dick stepping back into the Robin mantle anytime soon. I think he might just train Jason to be the next Robin. So we have him. Then Gar's going to be Beast Boy, obviously. Then we did this season. Last episode we actually saw him. Actually being a snake. He actually transformed into a snake, so something other than Tiger. So thanks to Trigon's healing him and reviving him back in the finale, we actually saw him being able to unlock more options than just the Tiger. So less of a psychological link and more of him actually being able to be more creative. So looking forward to seeing what other options he comes up with. But we have him as Beast Boy and then Rachel as Raven, of course. So don't know what her powers are going to be. I don't know what she's actually going to be able to do with her powers besides from using darkness to, hit people away and maybe tie them up, or I don't know. But it's going to be cool to see how she progresses as a character after all of this, and having unlocked her darkness and identified herself as a hero and as a good person. So yeah, we had all that stuff going on. So we have a new team of Titans, and Trigon was defeated. And then the episode ended with two very, 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 very teasy reveals. Two very, very spectacular reveals. The first of which was Bruce Wayne. We met Bruce, played by Ian Glenn, Sir Jorah Mormont of Game of Thrones. So he's playing Bruce. Quite an older version of Bruce. So I don't know if this Bruce. Not to be too ageist, but I have a feeling this is a Bruce we're going to see more of as Bruce Wayne himself than as Batman. I don't know if we're going to see this one dressing as Batman. Timeline-wise, last episode we did see Jason referencing that he still works with the Justice League. He was halfway across the world with Justice League with Alfred as well, so he still works with them. He still works with Justice League, and he's still doing what he can. But I don't know if he's actually dressing as Batman and going out and fighting crime or whatever. But he was Jorah Mormont, so he's still got that. He has that sword fighting experience. But we'll see. But I feel like I think I'd actually want to see more of the Bruce Wayne in this one. I actually want to see more of Bruce Wayne in this show than I would Batman. But we'll see. But we have Bruce Wayne. We've actually seen him. He's confirmed to be existent and present. So how much more we see of him is yet to be discovered. But also Deathstroke, Slade Wilson himself, Slade Wilson as well. So yeah, me having only seen Deathstroke in the Arrowverse, Manu Bennett, Slade Wilson on Arrow, I instantly fell in love with the character. Instantly fell in love with him, and he's easily one of the biggest characters in the actual comic universe too. So seeing him in this, the interpretation we see in this, and his outfit looks amazing. His costume looks awesome, and as soon as he sees Jason and seeing on the news that the Titans are back, he decides it's time for him to step back up to his role too. So I'm interested to see what the history is there with Slade and the original Titans. Seeing what history is there, because if the Titans are back and then he needs to he feels the need to step back into his suit, then obviously there's some stuff that needs unpacking, some flashbacks that need addressing. So we'll see what it is. But Deathstroke is back and Bruce Wayne is in. So yeah, going forward, I think we'll just see how this new team of Titans actually prepares to. I think maybe even seeing the old Titans jump into if they do the same thing. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how things go. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've got from the premiere. So episode 2, Rose. That's good. This will be the highlights reel of the reactions for YouTube. If you guys want to be able to watch the full-length reaction, the full-length watch-along to this episode, then that will be on Patreon. Link will probably be in the comments below, so you can go check that out there. But yeah, let's go. Let's get in.
New Titans. Titans 2.0.
Titans Next Generation.
You're not
Really going the Star Trek
Rich, it
way.
doesn't matter what you call it. All it takes for evil to succeed,
It's for good men and women to do nothing.
that's Titans. Good men and women not doing nothing.
You could put that on
Doing
a t-shirt,
something.
Dirk.
I love her hair. I just noticed that. It's all curly. I love that. And his hair's all slicked back. I love that too. Yeah.
When I give the word, come at me.
Yeah, the sounds. You gotta listen. The slightest thing. Ooh. Ooh. Boom. Okay. Oh, I like this. I like this. Oh, that music too. I love that. It's all well put together.
Yeah, fuck, man. You said don't hold back. What were you doing? I was fucking blindfolded.
And those websites he bookmarked, you know that's not what the back computer's used for.
Oh, come on, man. This gig is
He
a
was
waste of
looking
time.
at
It's
porn
called
on the
training.
back computer, Jason.
And you know as well as I do, it never stops.
But all we do is fight each other.
Yeah, like equals.
I mean, it's practically the fucking motto. Wonder Girl, Aqualad.
You're thinking of the old Titans, this is the new Titans.
Oh, Aqualad.
That was the whole
okay.
point when Donna and I put the team together the first time.
If I'm Robin, who are you?
Nightwing. We'll cross out the
Good
dirt.
question.
Nightwing. Yeah, Nightwing. I know that much, yeah. I know that much. Never get tired of that theme. Never get tired of that theme. Oh, damn. He can suck the electricity out.
Good. I thought the
Dr. Light! There's a Dr. Light in this show, and he's a man.
Whoa,
That was brutal.
all right.
Yeah, I'm cooking. Who else is gonna cook around here? You? I'm good.
I don't recognize that music. I don't
You
know.
don't have to worry about me.
There's a nice little piano cue to it. This is good though, I'm happy for them. They have their own little place. She's got different hair too. Straighter, darker, I like that. Everyone's changing. 3 months later and everyone changes.
No one likes jelly.
She's with Donna. Okay,
Maybe no
Corey
one
and
can,
Donna.
but humans love jellies. I don't know. I'm starting to think that Roy Harper's intel was wrong. Huh?
Roy Harper!
Don't do anything for money. That
Arsenal!
includes murder.
It does.
Then this is the place those deals get done.
Oh. Who's this? She's missing an eye. Or maybe she's injured her eye.
In all fighting, the direct method
The art
may
of
be
war.
used, but
Wow, I feel that.
indirect
I can feel
methods
that.
will
That
be
brings back
needed in order
memories /
to
nightmares.
secure.
That never happened to me. That doesn't ring any bells. So that was just a dream, right? Oh. Oh. Okay, not a dream. Definitely not a dream. Pizza. Right.
Who made this?
Dick did. The crust is made out of cauliflower.
Ah.
Why would somebody do that?
Why
If we
would
hate
you
eating,
make
then
the
we have
crust
more
out
time.
of vegetable?
Okay, so it's not just me. He's totally obsessed, right?
He's turning
Dude,
into
what
Mr.
maniac
Miyagi
does
before our
that?
very eyes.
Good one.
Oh. Oh, she's good. She's good. Oh, she's good. Yeah, she's good.
Now it looks like the suspect. Who the hell is that?
A total badass.
Huh. I'll say. Yeah, she's got him. She's got him on the ropes.
She's got silver hair. She does seem to be injured. We're not sure how badly.
Who is it? Does Dick know her? That was quite the knowing look.
Your definition of
Oh, damn. Oh, crash landing.
Okay, did you see that?
I absolutely
I'll
do.
be back.
That suspect
Yeah, she
actually
made that.
jumped.
No, they're making drugs. They're making drugs. Oh, damn it. These are the friends, huh?
What the hell?
Duff gonna show up? Is Duff gonna show up? Yeah, there we go. There we go. Boom, there we go.
3 complete dipshits.
3 complete dipshits, so, you better have someone come down and arrest us. Thank you for your time.
Oh, that's a self.
Your mother would be very proud.
There we go. Leave them nice and ready for the police to pick up.
Ellis?
Ellis?
Are you okay?
What's wrong with him?
Light! Dr. Light! It's Dr. Light! There has to be Dr. Light! How did Dr. Light get to him? Oh! How the hell did Dr. Light get to him?
We should get together to figure this out.
Yeah, villains returning. 2 villains now, Deathstroke and Dr. Light.
We're on our way.
2 villains have returned. Or maybe this is Rose. Maybe
Going
this could be
somewhere?
Rose. The one the episode is titled after. Oh yeah, Titans Assemble. Oh, Titans Go. Titans Go.
This is a place where people like you can learn how to be the best version of who you are. And you can do it without being afraid for your life.
It's a cool description.
You know, they did write music after 1979. They didn't just crank out We Are Family and call it quits.
They should have.
Yeah.
Can we please dip a toe into the 80s? Just 5 minutes of Madonna, that's all I need.
No, she's a Madonna girl.
Look, it's hard to believe, but maybe her idea of paradise isn't sharing a bathroom with you, Jason.
When you came to me, you wanted help. She doesn't.
Maybe she doesn't know it.
Nothing she does want to. She just doesn't
Or
believe
can't
any
admit it.
help can outlast whoever's
Pretty
chasing.
obvious she needs help.
Well, it is your lucky day. Look who just showed.
Is it Shimmer? It's Shimmer, and she is shimmering.
She
is
actually
shimmering.
shimmers.
Yeah.
Huh. Celinda Flinders, we're taking you into custody.
Celinda Flinders. That's a hell of a name.
I'll go high.
I'll go low.
Great. Great work. Yeah, whip that lasso out. Alright, yeah. There we go. Boom. There we go. I love this. I love that team up.
She doesn't want me to know.
Well, there are ways to find out.
Back
Yeah, I know.
computer.
And I haven't put 9 trackers in her either.
Yeah.
That's your thing, but it's not mine.
That's no frame of mind for anyone to make life or death choices. You keep her there till she can make them. And then make sure they're the right ones.
Let her fight. Let her train. That takes her mind off.
Okay, here's what I have to know.
Let her open up.
Would you do it again?
Hello, Miss Coriander.
Hmm? What is this?
Surprised to see me?
Oh, he's another alien. Another Tamaranian.
Just me.
They should have sent more.
Oh, crap.
Sorry about that, Your Highness.
Figured you'd be gone.
Said you were buying coffee. I like coffee.
Good.
Who doesn't
You
love
got something
coffee?
in common.
Yeah, who doesn't love coffee?
Will you at least give me your name?
Rose.
She is Rose.
Nice to
She
meet
is
you,
Rose.
Rose.
Yeah. How'd she lose the eye then?
Get down!
Dr. Light! Dr. Light, he is after her! He is after her!
Match identified.
Rose Wilson.
Rose Wilson.
And that's her dad, Slade Wilson.
Her dad is Deathstroke?
No fucking way.
She's the
What?
daughter of Deathstroke.
Deathstroke.
She's the daughter of Deathstroke. Holy crap. I'm just gonna finish writing this on. Okay. Okay. It's a really cool theme. I can never resist. I had it set as my alarm clock. I literally wake up to the Titans theme tune. It's awesome. Well, when my body can handle waking up, I wake up to the Titans theme tune. But yeah, no, that is cool. That is cool. Okay, so Rose Wilson, she's the daughter of Slade. She's the daughter of Deathstroke. I mean, okay, the eye now makes more sense. The missing eye makes more sense. Apparently, it runs in the Wilson family. You know, you grow up, eventually you lose an eye in some fashion. They're missing different eyes though. Missing different eyes, but either way, she's and she's also combat trained. She's also combat trained, so he likely is her trainer. But yeah, damn. So she's running. She was on the run, and there's so fucking much in this episode. So she was running, and she was running from Dr. Light, I think. We have Dr. Light in this show. We have Dr. Light, and he's a man in this show. He's a guy. He was in prison, but he's now a guy. And he had the same thing. He sucked the light out of the light bulbs and then used it. He pushed outwards to actually burn the guy in prison, burn the last surviving security guard inside out. So he's brutal. But he's also chasing Rose. He's chasing Rose, but at the same time, he went after Ellis. He went after the kid that Hank and Dawn were helping. So Rose was nowhere near them. So why he got to Ellis, I don't know. Unless he's trying to bring the Titans together. If he's trying to bring Hank and Dawn to San Francisco, bring them to Dick and the rest of the team. If he's trying to reunite the old Titans along with the new, so that he can take them all out in one place, then maybe that's the thing. Yeah. So he it saves him time, and it's also like a great mass execution. He went after Ellis. So yeah, I thought when the kid walked through the door, I thought he must have been hopped up on drugs before Dawn shut down the operation. But no, then he started glowing, and then I was like, oh wait, no, that happened to the security guard that Dr. Light killed. So Dr. Light got to him somehow. And it's not just that; it extends beyond just burning the person. They literally blow up. Like Ellis blew up, and he blew the house up along with him. So it's a very, very effective, damage-heavy technique of killing. So yeah, Dr. Light. We have Dr. Light, and he's a killer. He is a killer. So for some reason, he's chasing Rose. For some reason. I don't know why. I think she must know it's him, because she did seem to recognize the light blaring out from the back of the car. So now the car's gone. But yeah, she seems to be pretty scared of him, understandably. If he has that kind of power, then there's no telling what he will do to you. But yeah, Dr. Light is in, and Rose is the daughter of Slade Wilson. She's the daughter of Slade Wilson, so I wonder if that means that she'll be joining the team then. I mean, I think it would definitely make for an interesting addition, like the daughter of one of the old Titans' enemies, and also Batman's enemies. Like Deathstroke is a heavy Batman enemy, so the daughter of one of their enemies, joining the Titans, joining the heroes. So yeah, so then I wonder if Slade was the one who actually I wonder if Slade was the one who sent him after him, because I think we heard slicing and dicing. We heard slicing and dicing in the prison, so that had to have been Slade releasing him. Slade taking out all the guards before he left, and then actually releasing Dr. Light from prison. So Slade is taking his time then. Slade is taking his time to show up. Slade doesn't want to make his presence known straight away. He doesn't want to surprise the Titans too early and give them a chance to fight back. He wants to tease them a little bit and actually get others to kind of jump in for him. So he knows Rose is. He knew Rose was out there. He knew Rose was on the run somehow. So then he sent Dr. Light after her. Whether or not he said kill her or scare her in any way is up for debate. But he probably sent Dr. Light after her, and then Dr. Light took matters into his own hands and started, causing a facade, or a kerfuffle, and scared her, and then she went on the run. And then so now she's with the Titans, and then he found out about that, and then he blew up the car. So yeah, Dr. Light is back. So more of the villains are returning. Dr. Light must be a villain too. Must be an old villain of theirs too, because Dick recognized him, the name, and Hank and Dawn, especially, just straight away knew that was his MO, like, burning people from the inside out and then blowing them up because from that. So yeah, I think this is an interesting new Dr. Light. I think especially with this one, I think with this one, it seems ingrained into his skin. The Dr. Light we've seen in the Arrowverse and stuff is like is heavily technology based and has her own suit and stuff. So that's different. But with this one, it seems like he doesn't have to wear a suit. He can actually use it. Just his normal flesh and blood body, so that's cool. So he must be a metahuman. So we have metahumans in this thing. Yeah, I think. Well, I mean, when I think of that terminology, I think it's kind of different to the way Marvel is kind of exclusive with their stuff. Like with Marvel, they had Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, but they just weren't allowed to call them mutants because of rights stuff. But with this one, I think with DC, it's all still run by Warner Brothers. Yeah, I think DC is still all run by Warner Brothers, so they still have most of the rights. Maybe they can decide who gets to use what and when and how. So metahumans is a term that they can still use, so long as they're not being specific as to which ones. But yeah, DC, the TV universe, can still use Dr. Light, even with the Arrowverse stuff, having covered that character already. So I'm excited to see what this Dr. Light is like and how he actually fights against the Titans, and to see if he actually has a suit. I'm excited to see that. But yeah, so that is Rose and Dr. Light. So Rose, yeah, I'm intrigued to see more of her. She kept like a letter open. So now, now that he can't let her go. Now, knowing now that Dr. Light is after her, he can't let her go. She, I think she might have to take into more serious consideration actually, staying with the Titans and actually joining up with them. So yeah, I think at first deep in her mind it was that case of maybe she has lost people before, maybe she's tried to run from the flight before, or even from her father. Because I think there's no clear sign of allegiance to her father. I mean, it hasn't been addressed yet. Only Jason knew at the end, at the very end, when they were looking on the back computer, like actually trying to do the facial recognition thing. It was only then that they found out who she was, and then only Jason recognized her. Recognized Deathstroke even. And I think that's kind of cool. It actually shows how long he's been with Batman and what enemies he's actually aware of. Like, he knows the Riddler. I think maybe he knows Joker too. Like, Joker is easily the biggest Batman villain, or at least arguably one of the biggest. But Deathstroke is really, really out there on that tier list. So to know that Jason actually is aware of Deathstroke and Slade Wilson shows a great deal of knowledge on his side. And just his reaction, like, holy fuck, Slade Wilson, that's Deathstroke. We're dealing with the daughter of Deathstroke himself. So if Deathstroke is coming to pick up his daughter, that's his family. He's gonna fight. Dude's gonna fight. So yeah, so showing like I think that was the perfect way to end it too, showing what threat they're really up against. Like, oh, it's Deathstroke, so he's out there still. Because again, we haven't had any reference or any flashbacks to what the old Titans thing was like how they ended or why they ended or whatever happened. So there's no kind of confirmation as to whether they kind of assumed Deathstroke was dead, or if he just disappeared and never showed up again, or what happened. But Jason recognizes him, and now once Dick and Rose get back to base, he's going to recognize him too, and that's going to be classified as an actual state of emergency. Like, okay, Dr. Light is back, that's bad, but now we have Deathstroke on our tail too. We need to reassemble. We need to get the team, we need to get the Titans back together. So, yeah, it's going to be big. But yeah, I think speaking of the old Titans, I think it kind of crossed my mind, like how, like, so the old Titans, I think the confirmed members we have are Dick as Robin, Donna Troy as Wonder Girl, Hank and Dawn as Hawk and Dove, and also another name drop of Aqualad. So, and I think he's, presumably the sidekick to Aquaman. So we have Aqualad, which we haven't seen just yet, but I assume we'll be seeing him at some point this season. So they were the original Titans. They were the original Titans, and also I think Jason made a very, very kind of probably meant to insult kind of point about how the Titans are literally just sidekicks. Like they're like a formation of the sidekicks. The sidekicks to the bigger superheroes. They are just literally that. So it's like to an eye on the outside, I think it'd be like a B-list team. Like when you can't get the Justice League, call the Titans. But then watching this show, you realize I think even if you watch the Teen Titans TV show too, or if I don't know if they're in Young Justice. I've heard Young Justice also thing, but I don't know if that surrounds the Titans as well. But watching this version at least, I think it's kind of like it's interesting having them because I think I think it makes it just as compelling of a story that the sidekicks themselves actually band together. They are together. They actually acknowledge each other's presence and they actually team up when necessary. So having the sidekicks together offers a new kind of dynamic when it comes to being a vigilante or a superhero. It actually shows like a different kind of team, like a team connection. So these guys decided, like like Dick made the point himself, like there's always going to be someone out there who wants to screw things up for the rest of us, like and the Justice League are higher grade, they're like Avengers level people, so they handle end of the world type stuff, and bigger people like Brainiac or Darkseid or maybe even Lex Luthor if you want to stay on a more grounded level. They defeated Trigon in the last episode, so that's a big win. That's a big win. And I think thinking back to that, what I love is Hank admitting that they're probably not enough. It's like Rachel should have called for us to get Superman or something instead of the new annoying Robin. Just him admitting that like, are we sure we can handle a fucking demon from another dimension? Are we sure that's in our pay grade? But no, they still handled it, and Rachel still handled it. So. Yeah, but I think it makes for an interesting thing, like a formation of the sidekicks to handle stuff that the Justice League either can't or won't or don't have time to. So they're still the heroes. They're still heroes in a sense. But then that makes me question, right? Hawk and Dove, I think they might be the exception because they're not they're not sidekicks to anyone else. Like Hawk and Dove came about. I mean, we saw in the last season in the Hank and Dawn episode, we saw that they were inspired by Batman and Robin, because he clearly referenced Batman and Robin. I think like out of the way, Batman and Robin, there's a new superhero duo in town, so they were clearly inspired by them. But they're not sidekicks to anyone. They've never worked as sidekicks to anyone. Hawk and Dove themselves are partners to each other, so I think in this case they might be the one exception. So they are good. They're good with the team. They're good at what they do. They can handle it, so they definitely fit that kind of superhero criteria. But they're not explicitly sidekicks themselves. They're just members of this team of sidekicks. So I think they might be like the one kind of exception that we can have. So yeah, that interests me. But yeah, the old Titans. I wonder if we'll actually see the reunion of the old Titans now that the older enemies are coming back. I wonder if we're actually going to see like a reunion of the older Titans. I mean, we've already met most of them. This show is led by Dick. We have Donna, we have Hank and Dawn, and then Aqualad is the only other guy we need. So, hopefully, at some point down the season, we'll actually meet him, and he'll come back in, and we'll have stuff going down there. But yeah, so that was that formation of the sidekicks. Roy Harper, Arsenal exists in this universe. That's really cool. Roy Harper. So I mean, Roy Harper is around. He's giving intel to Donna Troy, to Wonder Girl, and she has him as that kind of contact. So, I mean, one has to assume that he is Arsenal in this universe too. So then that begs the question. Yeah, that begs the question of, is there a Green Arrow in this universe? Is there a Green Arrow to which Arsenal is the sidekick to? But then, I don't know. I think like that timeline is based off of my viewing experience of Arrow. Like, I don't know how. I don't really think that's that different from the comics. I think the one difference might be that he's also the original Speedy instead of Thea Queen. But yeah, he's the original Speedy, and then he became Arsenal. I think those are, like, to my knowledge, those are his two different kind of aliases, the Speedy and Arsenal. But yeah, I think to my knowledge, Roy Harper is the sidekick to the Green Arrow. So I wonder if he's a member of the original Titans too. Like, like when Jason was enlisting them, it did seem like Dick was cutting him off and being like, trying to give him that pep talk. But yeah, I don't know. It would make sense if he's a sidekick as well. Then it would make sense to have him join the team, because again, this is a formation, a team made up of the sidekicks who are actually standing their ground just as well as their mentors are. So they're still out there, they're still putting the work in, they're still defending cities and towns from evil villains. So yeah, they're still just as good. But yeah, we have Roy Harper, but probably not played by Colton Haynes. I mean, we don't even have an official thing for it. Like, we didn't even get a voice. We just literally saw the contact showing up on her phone and Donna mentioning it too. So no official kind of casting of any kind just yet, no official hints. But yeah, I think from the beginning of the episode we had it going 3 months later, so 3 months after they actually moved into Titan's Tower and they actually started being the Titans again. I think we haven't really had any official missions just yet, no footage of this new team going out and doing any field work. Just training. There's a new training regime. So Dick teaching them that even like no matter what part of their body they lose, they still have to keep fighting. That's why they were doing. Jason was doing the blindfolded thing with Gar. Gar handled himself well. Gar handled himself very well in the training room. He was. My boy was dodging like he was in martial arts dodgeball. He was dodging like he was in martial arts dodgeball, like blocking and dodging the tricks, and then Jason jumping over him and him doing combat rolls and stuff, and then he just whacked him on the head at the end with the sword and everything. And then just Rachel, I love it. She doesn't even flinch, Dick twirls the sword around and then just sticks it right in her face between her eyes, and she just doesn't even flinch. She's got it on lockdown. Rachel's got it all on lockdown. I love her hair too. It's all kind of like a bluier blue, and it's all curly and stuff, like more like mine is when it's untied. But yeah, I love that. She's actually got like a whole new look going on. She has a whole new attitude, like a whole new approach to all of this stuff. I love it. So I can't wait to see what she actually gets to unleash and how she gets to fight down the line. So looking forward to more Reagan. I mean, she fell asleep studying the art of war, the Chinese. I think the Chinese art of war. I think some of the names on there sounded Chinese. So she fell asleep doing that, and in her dream, her darkness was being unleashed and released from her body. So I don't know what that's. I don't know what that's kind of referencing to. What that means. I mean, the falling asleep studying. I think anyone can relate to that, but then the darkness being released. I mean, I don't know. Maybe if you're, if your humor is dark enough, or if your soul is dark enough for that. But yeah, she had that kind of dream where it was all being released, and no, I mean, it wasn't actually much of a dream. We actually had she actually had a scratch. She had like a scratch, and I think I don't want to say I don't want to say it in the moment in case something else is actually revealed, but it does remind me. It reminds me of those videos on YouTube of people going of those all those exploring X gone wrong videos, people exploring abandoned tunnels and mines and hospitals and homes and exploring all these age-old abandoned buildings that are said to be haunted by ghosts or demons or whatever. And then there's like a whole crew that goes in there to film stuff, and then something goes wrong. Some guy starts screaming and just falls to the floor and gets dragged, and then sometimes you even see in the thumbnail like he lifts his shirt up and then he shows like a massive handprint or a scratch or something, like, oh, I was just dragged to hell and stuff like that. Like it reminded me of that. Like in her dream, she's getting engulfed by her own darkness, and then when she wakes up, she just has like a massive gash along her hip. So yeah, it reminded me of that. It reminded me of those kinds of videos. Yeah, so she's got something going on. She's got her own thing going on. So her darkness is fighting back. I mean, now that Trigon is gone, now that she used her darkness to send Trigon back, I feel like her darkness is fighting back somehow. Yeah, because her darkness is there to help her bring Trigon over. So when she reverses that, when she pulls out like an Uno reverse card and be like, nope, gonna use this thing designed to bring you in to push you back in, to push you back out again. So when she does that, I think her darkness feels conflicted, so then it starts to fight back. So I wonder if that's going to be her story in this season, like her learning to control her darkness more now that she used it for the opposite of its intended purpose. I don't know, maybe, but we'll see. But yeah, new training regime, so that's cool. And he's making the worst pizza. He's making the. Gar said he made the crust out of cauliflower. I don't think he literally made that out of cauliflower. You still need the bread for it. I think maybe it's like cauliflower stuffed crust. Like, I mean, I like cauliflower. Don't get me wrong. I love cauliflower, but you don't put that crap in the crust of a pizza. Like pineapple on pizza is bad enough, but now you're putting cauliflower. Are you just Dick is just asking for his students to fucking kill him in the middle of the night. But yeah, I don't know. He's doing that kind of stuff. And Gar mentioned that Dick was being much nicer to him than usual, and it's because Dick killed him. Even if it was Trigon possessed Dick still killed him. He still delivered that final killing strike, throwing him into the cabinet. So he did forgive him. But definitely, I think it understandably feels very, very weird. Still kind of interacting with him, and I think we don't really have much of a close relationship between them. Like Jason and Rachel unarguably have closer relationships with Dick than Gar does. Gar, I think, in some sense, he is the tag along. He did start off kind of as a tag along. He was part of the Doom Patrol originally, and then he rescued Rachel from the woods and then took her back home. And then at the end, it's because he was the one stable member of the group, of that version of the group, that the team said that they would take care of the chief, and then Gar should go with them and live a normal life. And so he was the one who tagged along and stuff. And he got along well with Corey. But with Dick, not so much. So I think I want to see that this season, like not just being nice for the sake of being nice, not just being nice because he feels guilty about having killed him in the first place, but I want to see a better relationship between him and Dick, because Dick actually wants it. Like, he is also his student. He's a great hero. He has great potential. He's a great person. So I would actually want to see more of Dick and Gar getting along, because they genuinely want to and actually want to connect and stuff. So they're two very different people, no doubt about that. But still, like, it's there. You still have like a friendship between Dick and Gar. So yeah, I don't know. Just I want to see more interaction. So yeah. But yeah, there was that, and then Jason wants to go back to Gotham. And be Robin under Batman's wing. But Bruce definitely feels that Jason isn't ready. He's not ready, and Dick, more than anyone else, also feels equally that he's not ready. And that and also that he shouldn't go back just to go back to being Batman's sidekick. He should be there to be his equal, so that he can handle himself equally in the field. He can think for himself. He can actually be Robin without just being known as the second in command or the second to Batman's shadow. So yes, I think seeing Jason's progression in this season surrounding that kind of character arc should be interesting. Seeing how he actually progresses, because he's even personally, he's just that kind of he could care less about stuff. He's very, very carefree. He's very, very daring. He's very adventurous. He does stuff without really much of a second thought. Very, very impulsive. Basically, he's very, very impulsive. So seeing maybe how that changes, or maybe how that affects the team, I'm curious to see. Like how he actually approaches missions and how he approaches different people, and how he actually grows as a person. I'm curious to see, but yeah, him going back to Gotham isn't really in the cards just yet. But we did have Dick calling Bruce. We have more Bruce presence in the show. He's at Wayne Manor. He's just chilling out and reading ancient. Well, I don't know if they're ancient. He's just reading I think those look like Chinese scriptures too. Look like Chinese writing. So he was just investigating some of that stuff. But yeah, Bruce is still around. Bruce is still around, and I like that. Dick is actually calling him up for advice. I like that he's actually calling up for advice. He needs a second opinion from a place of similar experience. He just picked someone off the streets that he thinks needs help and is in their field of work. And he even said, she's special, like me and you kind of special. So he's able to identify her as such. And Bruce is giving him that kind of advice, that just kind of sharing in how he dealt with Dick at a young age, how he dealt with Dick constantly wanting to run away and leave and stuff, and bring him back, and then actually allowing him to train, and actually giving him a focal point for his rage, because Dick grew up with a lot of rage. He had like that kind of he said he had anger and rage towards fate and death. He wanted his parents back, but that wouldn't happen. And even in that woman's office, he even said, he needs to find the person who did it so that he can kill them. And in the end, he did kind of end up doing that. He just handed him over to the Maronis. So yeah, but I mean, but I think there was that interesting parallel that Bruce pointed out, to the fact that at that point he was a kid, so he was more malleable. He was undeniably more malleable. He could actually, Bruce. I think Bruce maybe kind of knew that, but he also did that, this was what was best for him. He couldn't stop him from running away, but he could also help him not run away by giving him what he wanted, a focal point for his rage, a way to control his anger, and to teach him how to actually deal with it in a way that was beneficial for him and for other people, like helping other people by being Robin. So you could do that for him as a kid, but with Rose, she's a grown woman. She can fight for herself already. She's already been well trained by Deathstroke himself, by the enemy of Batman. And as like a grown woman, she's also kind of got her own mindset about things. She's already had her own lived experiences, and she's molding these decisions she's making based on those lived experiences. If she could keep people around her, then she would. But if she's afraid that the people around her are just going to die, then she's not going to risk their lives, because she knows what it's like. So yeah, but that whole scene was really, really fun to see Dick calling him up. So I'm hoping we can see similar stuff like that in the future, like him, broaching Bruce for advice and actually seeing what he can give him and what he can actually learn from him a bit more. And also seeing just a more positive relationship between them, because he said he left Batman because of what he had seen and what he had become. So I think now he thinks he can learn more. He grew up learning from Batman. Dick / Robin, he grew up learning from Batman. He grew up learning how to live and fight from Batman. So now I think as an adult, as Dick Grayson, he wants to learn from Bruce Wayne instead. He wants to learn from the person behind the mask and learn some of those motives and those mantras and stuff like that. So I think this season may well focus on that. So it'll be cool to see what it's like. Corey and Donna, I love the Corey and Donna team up. I'm living for the Corey and Donna team up. That was so cool. Her just using the lasso to whip her up into the air and then Corey taking the ground pound out of the air and then standing side by side. Like, I'm living for it. I'm living for Corey and Donna. But yeah, they were working together. They were working together to track down Shimmer, whose real name was Celinda Felder, I think it was, or Celinda Felder. Yeah, Celinda Felder, I think. Yeah, it was quite that kind of rhymey kind of name, Celinda Felder. Quite catchy. Yeah, so Shimmer. So she literally shimmers. And she took like a newspaper and swung it at them, but it seemed a lot more solid. A lot more solid, and like, it had like that kind of sheen onomatopoeia to it. So probably turned it into an actual sharp object in the end. But yeah, she literally shimmers. So she's her own little criminal. So that was a cool team up. That was a really cool team up. So hopefully we can see more of that. But I mean, I don't know what the chances are, because at the end, Corey was kidnapped. By a Tamaranian, someone from her planet. So they only sent him. But yeah, so he was there to pick her up, and he did say, "I'm sorry, Your Highness." So I don't know what that's kind of what that's referencing. I don't know if she was actually of royalty back on Tamaran, or if she was something. I mean, your Highness, that would be like that's what you call a queen. Yeah, that's what you call a queen. So I don't know if Corey was a secret queen on Tamaran, Queen Coriander. I don't know. But I guess we'll find out. Because I mean, I think he wasn't really he didn't really stay on Earth. I think he was there to take her back to Tamaran. So yeah, because now the mission is over. Like her mission was to prevent Trigon from coming back into their world. So now the mission is over. Now they need their queen back. So I'm surprised they sent their queen in the first place. I mean, either they sent their queen to defeat the Trigon threat, or the queen took it upon herself to save her people when she left her own planet. So then they were like without a leader for however long, for like a month or 2 months or whatever. I think Hank said that Dawn's coma lasted like a month, so that means the series itself could have taken place over the course of a month. So yeah, so they went like a month, maybe 2 at most, without a queen, and 3 months later, that's like 4 months basically. So yeah, for like 4 or 5 months. So yeah, so they've gone a while. They've gone a while without their queen, so now they need her back. But then I'm wondering, depending on how urgently they need her back, then they probably would. Because I was wondering, surely they sent like a message to her first, we see that you've defeated the Dragon threat, so now feel free to come home and lead your people again, as Your Highness, as the Queen. Then come back. But no, they just send one guy after her with like an alien taser that tases her out, and then he takes her away. So I think she's probably gone back to Tamaran. So they've gone back and stuff. So now the team doesn't have Corey anymore. She's gonna find a way back. We can't have a whole season without Corey, without any explanation. So we'll find out eventually. But yeah, Corey and Donna, dream team. But yeah, Hank and Dawn were living their own little dream kind of farmyard life, or like countryside life, running a ranch, but also running a rehab center. I think it was a rehab center of sorts. They were helping. There was only one kid that we saw that they helped. Only one case that they were talking about, which was Ellis, the kid that died. But he had relapsed, and I think they were helping him deal with his drug addiction. So that was cool. That was good. So they were helping people. They were helping kids, especially kids and youth under drug addiction. So that was cool. And I think it's a system that it's a problem that Dawn mentioned that Hank had dealt with too. Like originally they became Hawk and Dove to deal with their pain, but then when that didn't cut it, when that wasn't enough, Hank resorted to other methods like drugs. So he knew exactly how painful and how troublesome that kind of thing is. So then he wanted to help other kids, especially other people of a younger age, actually stay away from that kind of life. So, and it's incredibly easy too for youth to actually fall under that kind of troubles. I think it made it all the more important to him and Dawn to make that their kind of mission. So yeah, so they were running that thing, but then at least for a month out of those 3 months later, Dawn had secretly been sneaking out and being Dove and doing stuff. At least that's what I took from him asking her how long and then her saying a month. That's what I took from it. But then this last one being her shutting down the meth lab ever so eloquently, and then making the one guy report self-report it to the police before knocking him out too. So she did a great job. She did a fantastic job with it, but. Yeah, then Hank then gave her the ultimatum of being like, Hank and Dawn being Hawk and Dove was dangerous for both of them because it didn't really provide them with any kind of any prospect of a future. They couldn't get married being Hawk and Dove. They couldn't have kids. No kind of jobs, no future of any kind. No stable future of any kind. Being Hawk and Dove. So, and it brought them more trouble than they were willing to deal with. So that's why he then stopped. That's why Hank then stopped. But then. If Dawn couldn't stop being Dove, then a relationship wasn't really in the books for them. So that was sad to hear. So then that happened, and then Ellis showed up and then blew up inside their house. So now I think with Dr. Light returning, it's kind of calling for a like a return of all the Titans. All the existing Titans have to return to help each other actually protect themselves and also protect their homes and their lives from these returning villains, from Dr. Light and from Deathstroke. So Hank and Dawn have stepped away from that, and now they are likely going to return to being Hawk and Dove. So I think that'll be interesting to watch. But I think I love the way this season is headed. I think originally season 1 was about like a less direct, like a more indirect version of the formation of the new team. Like it wasn't really it wasn't Dick trying to start a new team. It was just him finding himself coming into contact with people who needed help, people who could help, and just villains around the corner and stuff like that. So season 1 was interesting in that sense. Season 1 seemed a lot more grounded, but with this one I think they're bringing in a lot more names too. This one they're bringing in a lot more names. They bring in Deathstroke, they bring in Batman, they bring in Dr. Light, and Donna Troy they brought in the last season, Jason Todd too. So they did some kind of water testing in the first season. I feel they did some water testing with some smaller names and similar names, and now season 2 they're kind of going more up. We still got Superboy. We've still got Superboy coming in. I read somewhere his name is Connor. Kent, but so we have Connor Kent coming in, Superboy, and Crypto. I can't wait to see Crypto. I'm literally just I am ecstatic to see Crypto. That those laser eyes, those laser good boy eyes at the end of the first season wasn't enough. I need Crypto. I need some actual footage of my boy Crypto flying and shooting laser eyes and stuff. For a good while I grew up on Crypto the Superdog cartoon, so I need my live action good boy. I need my live action good Crypto boy. I can't wait to see Crypto. We've got all these names coming in, all these kind of stories unfolding and leading up to each other. So it'll be cool to see how it all culminates and how it all forms around each other. So and I think Dick is having that kind of dilemma too. I think Dick is going to have his own story arc where Jason mentioned so I'm the new Robin, but you're not Robin. So what are you? So Dick is kind of going down his own path of self-discovery. So anyone who knows the character of Dick Grayson from the comics or any form of DC kind of entertainment media, like the games or anywhere else, will know that Dick Grayson is Nightwing, nice black and blue, and with the Eskrima sticks too, with the electric Eskrima sticks. So Dick Grayson becomes Nightwing. So I do have a feeling that's the route they're going down with this season. Dick is now officially stepping away from Mantle of Robin, but now with Deathstroke coming in, he needs to be more than Robin. He needs to be his own person, but not a sidekick to someone else. So he needs to be Nightwing. So I look forward to that kind of progression. I look forward to that arc, and I can't wait to see the suit either. You know, they made Deathstroke's suit look this good, so I can only imagine how good they're gonna make Nightwing's suit. But yeah, that is pretty much it. That's pretty much all I've got from this episode. So hope you guys enjoyed it. I definitely loved it. Can't wait to see where they go next with this. But yeah, that is it. So that was Titans Season 2, Episode 2, titled Rose. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then burn that like button. Comment and read all the episode and what you think is coming up next time on Titans. Once again, the uncut reaction, the full-length reaction for this episode. For those of you who want it, it will be up on Patreon. Check it out over there. And yeah, that's it. So I will see you guys next time.